Hi, this is Ann Ostrom, and I'm here with Bill to show you how to put a hip belt on the pack. Ready, Bill?
Ready, Annie. First thing you do is get your hip belt out of the bag. You undo the 2-inch side release buckle, and there are 4 straps, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the hip belt, and you take all 4 of those straps off the hip belt so they can be used to attach your hip belt to the pack. There are 4 straps. For now, we're going to put these straps on. We're only going to show you one side of the hip belt because the other side is repetitive. These are tri-glide buckles, and they can be facing down like this or up like this. We want them facing up. This strap has a smooth side, and it has a side where there's a piece that is sewn up. You want the piece that's sewn up to go in like this through one of these loops on the tri-glide. You pull it and it kind of snaps very flat in place like this. If you do it incorrectly using this side, this is what it looks like. You'll see that it stands up like that, and that's going to cause perhaps a bump where we don't want a bump or a pressure point. So again, this is the correct way, like this, and it kind of clicks a little bit in place and is nice and flat. You take the hip belt and you put it on. The straight portion of it goes up towards the top of the pack like this. It is incorrect if you do this, the curvature part of the hip belt up. The curvature is so your legs can move freely if you're on rough terrain. You take the 1-inch piece of webbing and you thread it through this buckle, which is called a tri-glide. You thread it through the other side, and you leave a loop here. You now pull through so that both buckles are touching here, both tri-glides, and you feed that through and snugly put it into place. You take the 1-inch webbing, put it through the back loop of the ladder lock buckle here, thread it through the front, and then very aggressively you pull this as tight as it will go so that the ladder lock buckle and the tri-glide are together. You repeat this for the second tri-glide. Through the first loop, through the second loop, leave yourself a loop so you can pull it tight. Both tri-glide buckles are very close here. You pull that snugly, you thread it through the back of the tri-glide or of the ladder lock like that. You put it through the front, and again you aggressively pull that tight. You now take what we call this hip belt stabilizer strap, which is on the hip belt, and you attach it to this ladder lock on the side of your canoe pack. You thread it through the back like that, and then you thread it through the front like that, and your hip belt is now attached directly to your pack or barrel harness.
And then you repeat that for the next.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bill.